Calling the Exeter Township Board of Supervisors meeting dated January 27, 2025 to order. All rise to pledge the flag. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Mr. Bilheim.
Mr. Kircher.
Here.
Mr. Ham.
Here.
Mr. Bell.
Here.
Mr. Pio, Vice Chairperson.
Here.
Mr. Mohammed, Chairperson.
Here.
All present.
Thank you. Agenda amendments. Are there any agenda amendments tonight?
I have none.
Hearing none. Moving on to announcements. Do we have any announcements?
No.
Okay. Moving on. Public comments. Agenda items. We got Ty.
I'm here as representative for Mount Penn.
Okay, so we'll get there when we.
Yep.
Get there. Okay. Moving on to our next item, consent agenda. And I'm looking for a motion to approve the consent agenda. 1 minute, minutes dated January 13th, 2025, Board of Supervisors. Disbursements dated January 27th, 2025, and Treasury Report dated November 2024.
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any discussion?
I have none.
First, then vote.
Discussion first, then vote. Apologies, guys.
Okay.
Okay. All right, zoning and planning. Looking for a motion to approve resolution number 2025-08, approving the land development plan for Mount Penn Borough Maintenance Facility.
The Planning Commission received a land development plan for a proposed maintenance garage for Mount Penn Borough. The site, or the project, is located along land that's owned by Antietam Valley Municipal Authority along Butter Lane. This evening, we have a representative, Ty Lineweber, from Systems Design Engineer. He is the gentleman that's represented the plan. This is located in our neighborhood commercial zoning. Majority of the Antietam Valley Municipal Authority property is actually located in St. Lawrence Borough, but there is a section that's located within Exeter Township, and this is the section where the proposed municipal garage is being proposed. The Planning Commission reviewed the plans on January 20th at our regular meeting and recommended conditional preliminary / final plan of the land development. If the board chooses, Mr. Lineweber is here to answer any questions or present any more information on the project.
Any questions from the board?
I have none.
Okay. If not, a resolution has been prepared that would recommend or grant conditional plan approval of the preliminary / final plan, approved with the conditions that the applicant must meet the review letter, outstanding items per Great Valley Consultants January 17th, 2025 letter, any additional staff comments from the engineering department. Also, the applicant must pay all outstanding township consultant and solicitor fees. Applicant must satisfy all applicable requirements of the township codes, and all future development of the property shall be subject to a new application approval by the Board of Supervisors. The Planning Commission did recommend approval, and for the Board of Supervisors to consider granting conditional plan approval.
Okay. Ty, I have a couple of questions for you. Have you guys done, and I'm assuming if you're following our standards, have you done stormwater management studies?
Yes, our plan does show that there is a basin that will be located behind the building. Show you on a plan here.
Could I suggest you go to the microphone only because there's folks at home that might be watching and won't be able to hear you otherwise? Thank you.
Okay, as you can see, the gray area of the building is the proposed, and it's next to the police garage. Behind that is the stormwater basin that will control the runoff from the building. The plan has been reviewed by Great Valley Engineering, and we have addressed all of their concerns.
Got it. Is that pond located in Exeter, or is it located in St. Lawrence?
Everything is in Exeter Township.
Got it. Okay. As far as what type of activities is going to take place in that garage, we're concerned about noise, lights, stuff like that. Being in a residential area and you have fewer neighbors and neighboring that property, can you please elaborate?
What the borough is looking to do is to move their facility from the building that's already on the site to be in this new building. That's where their trucks will be held, and all their equipment will be held in those areas. We aren't proposing any lights around the building except for what would be on the building themselves. We're not looking to remove any trees. We will address any sanitary sewer with the authority as it comes up. We're proposing a grinder pump with a oil separator, so anything that's cleaned out inside the building will be trapped into that oil separator and then will be pumped into the sewer system.
Okay. That's it for me. Anybody else has any other questions?
No.
Okay. We'll circle back to it. Looking for a motion to approve the resolution number 2025-8, approving the land development plan for Mount Penn Borough Maintenance Facility.
Make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Any other discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
5-0
you.
vote.
Yep.
Our second item is motion to approve resolution number 2025-09, approving the annexation plan for Wegman Fies property.
The Planning Commission received a sketch plan of record for an annexation plan. This is a plan that actually will involve three different properties. The property owned by Robert and Leona Wegman are the applicant. They're seeking to annex a parcel from George Fees and Nancy Fees, as well as from Robert S. Wegman III and Michelle Wegman. This is to correct some nonconformities. The applicant, Jordan Wegman, is in the audience if you have any additional questions. But what their applicant is looking to do, there's some existing structures that are located right on the property line. What they're trying to do is correct those nonconformities and make the lot more conforming with those accessory structures that are pre-existing. Just a simple annexation plan. The Planning Commission did review the plan. Our office also reviewed the plan. It's located in the Agricultural Preservation Zoning District. The Planning Commission did vote for recommendation for approval to the Board of Supervisors, a conditional sketch plan of record approval based on the conditions of meeting any outstanding items in Great Valley Consultants review letter dated January 16th, 2025. Any additional staff comments, payment of all outstanding township consultant solicitor fees. Applicant must satisfy all the applicable requirements of the township codes, and then all future development of the property shall be subject to new application approval of the Board of Supervisors. Our ordinance does have a stipulation and a plan note will be added that any future development within 10 years would need to follow the full planning process, preliminary and final plan, whereas a sketch plan or an annexation falls under the sketch plan of record requirements. Planning Commission did make that recommendation, and a resolution is in front of you for your consideration.
Okay. Anybody has any questions for Joe?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, one question. Mr. Wegman, this is probably for you. I'll let you come up to the mic.
Go ahead, Jack.
With the preservation, the farm preservation, I know it was only been a week since the meeting. Did you have a chance to check that out if there's any issues?
We did not, but I'm sure they'll come get us. My sister's been in contact with them for a while, just because of what we're doing. We knocked the original catering building down, so we've been talking to them a lot. So I'm sure at some point, we can ask them about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's my only comment or question. Thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions?
Mr. Chairman, I just want to note that there was a typographical error in the spelling of George Fees's name. So there is an amendment, there was an extra R, there was an R added, there is no R in his last name. So if there is a motion to approve the resolution, it should be with that amendment.
Okay. Now, my question is, are all three neighbors in agreement?
Yes, we're all related, so.
Okay.
Yeah, but we got everybody on board.
Got it.
Pretty simple.
Okay, circling back to it with the amendment, to motion to approve Resolution 2025-09, approving annexation plan for Wegmans
Fees.
fees, okay, property, and that is the amendment with the correct spelling for the last name of Mr. Fees. Looking for a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, any discussion?
I have none.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
5-0 vote. All right, moving on to administration. Looking for a motion to authorize the purchase of,
You can excuse Joe if you want.
certainly, Joe, if,
Oh, okay, thank you.
yeah. Okay, so again, administration, motion authorizing the purchase of Courtney Area Circle. Can somebody elaborate?
Yes, sir.
Explain, tell me what's going on?
So this is interesting. Some years ago, at a sheriff's sale, a parcel was sold to an out-of-town citizen who probably bought it sight unseen. Turns out it was a roadway that services a development of about 14 houses, I believe. So it's incumbent that the township takes ownership of this roadway. So through negotiations with the owner, we have a purchase price of $3,000 to take possession of this parcel. So that's why we need a motion.
Got it. Okay. Any questions for Bill?
None.
All right. We'll circle back. Motion authorizing the purchase of Courtney Area Circle, and I'll make that motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. Do we have any other discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
5-0 vote. All right. Seeking a motion to approve resolution number 2025-10, authorizing the destruction of records that have exceeded the retention period.
This is something that the state requires, that we keep certain records for a certain period of time. After that retention period is over, we are able to destruct those records. So it's kind of a housekeeping item. It comes before this board on a periodic basis. So we're asking tonight that you authorize the destruction of those records.
For my information, do you know what that period is?
It depends on the records. They can,
It varies.
it
depends on
does
the
vary,
record. Okay.
yes. There is a retention schedule that we go by.
Okay. Any other questions for Bill?
I have none.
No.
All right, we'll circle back to it. Motion to approve resolution number 2025-10, authorizing the destruction of records that have exceeded the retention period. Do I have a motion?
Go ahead. You're going to make it?
No, you are.
I'll make the motion to to approve Resolution 2025-10, authorizing the destruction of records that have exceeded the retention period.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Any other discussion?
I have none.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye for a vote. Okay, Mr. Solicitor?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't have much to add tonight, beyond the fact that we've been experiencing a higher volume of right-to-know law requests as of late. And so the way it works is I do not see every right-to-know law request. Poor Tina Stevens in our office does, from the township's office. And she's a bit inundated with these requests at the moment. So we are processing them, and I'm assisting where she needs me to. But the good news is that Tina is very good at her job, very knowledgeable, and so she can do most things without me. But she's a little bit bogged down right now. That's it, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Solicitor. Moving on to Public Works. We're seeking a motion to authorize the purchase of the following budgeted items. Number one, two 2024 Chevrolet Tahoe with vehicle outfitted at a total cost of $160,922.22. Number two, 2026 Mack 10-ton dump truck and a plow at a cost of $253,147.11. And number three is a 2025 OBD 30-yard leaf vac at the cost of $138,241.92. And I'm gonna look at Larry to explain each item.
Okay, for item number one, the two Tahoes, we were looking at 25s, so therefore we budget at 95,000 because, and they were going to start building them in June. However, there was a police department that did change their mind on the two Tahoes and went with Chevy pickups instead. So at this time, we could grab the two Chevy Tahoes that are basically listed as leftovers, which will save us money. As you can see, it was budgeted at 95,000. We're getting them for, with everything, including the decals, the upfitting, for $80,461.11 each. So we're trying to just take advantage of the savings.
Okay.
And then also the Mack truck, we were going to use liquid fuels to pay that. And as I mentioned at budget time, even if we would order the truck now, there's a good possibility we wouldn't see this truck before February of '26. So therefore, that's why we're asking to move forward with that currently. And then also the leaf loader, which is also part of the 902 grant, which is the recycling grant, and the state would pay 90% of that, and then we would be responsible for 10% of that. However, we have to put all the money out first. We have to submit a receipt and a canceled check before they reimburse us for our 90%.
Got it.
And also, with that, there is an increase on the leaf loader in February, so that's why we're trying to take advantage of the contracted price now.
Okay. Any questions for Larry?
I'll sneak one in, Mr. Chairman, but it's not regarding the, it's just a slight detour.
Okay.
Can you just real briefly speak to the salt supply we have for the rest of the winter? If you believe it's satisfactory or not?
I believe that we are satisfied with it. We are at our current limit already for the season through the CoStars program. However, if we would need more salt, we can actually get online with Berks County Co-op program through Albright College. So we do have avenues to go through. I did request to see if there is more available for us through the CoStars program. And they said that unfortunately at this time we cannot meet your demands. But I feel pretty comfortable with what we have in our salt shed right now, that we should be pretty good.
Thank you. You guys did a nice job the last storm, and thank you for the slight indulgence on the agenda item, but that's all I have.
Anybody has any other questions? Okay. Larry, I just got a couple, and we'll start from the leaf vac and work our way up.
Okay.
Do you know approximately the period of time that it takes to get that reimbursement, the 90%?
It's roughly within 90 days.
Okay, fair enough. And we know when the Mack truck may be delivered, the Tahoes, when can we get our hands on them?
If you say yes today, the paperwork will be done tomorrow, and they'll be sent over to the upfitter, which is also located with that same dealership. So even if we say okay today, we probably still will not see the two vehicles till possibly May or June.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to circle back to look for a motion to authorize the purchase of the following budgeted items: two 2024 Chevrolet Tahoes with vehicle upfitted at a total cost of $160,922.22. 2026 Mack ton dump truck and plow at a cost of $253,147.11, and a 2025 OBD 30-yard leave vac at a cost of $138,241.92. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor, please say aye unless there's discussion.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. 5-0. Sorry, I butchered that one for you, Larry.
All right, thank you.
Police.
Good evening.
Evening.
Looking at Public Works and looking at the two police vehicles, I was just telling Larry, 3 years ago, when I became a chief, when we got the cars, they were $65,000, and they went up to $30,000. So this is a pretty good bargain to get them leftovers. So it's something I'm glad that was proved as a big savings for us.
Perfect.
Just going on Mr. Bell's comment about the salt and Larry, the road crew did a phenomenal job the last big snowstorm. We only had one accident that entire day. That's very rare for us. I mean, we would have up to sometimes up to 10 to 20 accidents in a storm like that. We'd one, and it was a minor one. A truck just slid off the road, and we just had to get a tow truck to pull it out. So road crew did a phenomenal job. So, we're very lucky to have them. So, police report, normally in this report, I would do the December report, but since we're at the end of the year, I'd like to do a year-end report since we're there. So, last year, we handled 21,745 police calls. So that's close to 22,000. We're up 2,521 from last year. We had 19,000, so we increased. In 2022, we had 16,500, so we increased over 5,211 calls in a 2-year span. So for arrest, we had 1,004 arrests. That is 2.75 per day. That is up 120 arrests from last year. In 2022, we had 684. We're up 320 arrests from that period. That's how much we increased in a 2-year period. Citations, we wrote 6,858 citations. We're up 1,482 from last year. And we're up 3,651 from 2022. So that's the numbers. For those numbers, if you're wondering about accidents, we handled 661 accidents last year. In 2023, we handled 674. And in 2022, we handled 666. So we're actually down a little bit in crashes. So I think even though we increased probably traffic and volume, we're still, we went down in accidents. I believe that's from the enforcement. So it's something, I think that's a good thing. So that's the report for, we're going to do a year-end report, an annual report in March, and I'll give you more details about the year. But I just wanted to give you some details about just minor details, what we did in 2024. Last thing I'd like to say is I'd like to give a shout out to one of our officers, Joshua Wartz. On January 8th, just right before 1 o'clock in the afternoon, he made just a routine traffic stop. Officer Wartz has a lot of training on locating drugs And he located a vehicle, and through his investigation and his training, he confiscated 8 pounds of crystal methamphetamine. So that's a very large amount for just a routine traffic stop. The street value of that meth was over $200,000. So we're in a current now working with that, in that case and following up where it was coming from and trying to get some more details. But, you know, it was, the shipment was, through our investigation, was for the surrounding Exeter area, Reading area here. So something I'm really proud of about getting that drug off the street. He did a phenomenal job, and I just want to give him a shout out. We did a news release, and it was out there in the Reading Eagle and our Facebook page, but I wanted to publicly say to him how great a job he did. I think he deserves that. I'm really proud of him. So that's all I have this evening.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on. Manager's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just like to report that our lease with the school district for the Happy Landings Community Park is ending on February 8th. Park's actually in St. Lawrence. School district is going to take over the park. The district was notified our intention to do so in July to comply with the lease agreements. And also, last week, I met with Pam Mennett. Pam is the Director of Community and Economic Development with Berks County. We had a great discussion about ways to spur economic growth for Exeter Township and what support and data we could get from the county to help us achieve those things. So it was a very productive meeting with someone who is really well-respected and has been in that field for a long time. So that was well worth it. And that's all I have this evening.
Thank you. Okay. Moving on to supervisor reports, and we'll start with Supervisor Bell.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I was getting over the flu, so I don't have an additional report. I'm good now, but
Glad you're
I was
all right.
on the shelf last week, so I'm going to take a pass till next meeting.
Absolutely. Supervisor?
Yeah.
Sure. Do you have anything?
I really don't have any comments for this meeting, except congratulations to the police department and your men for doing superb jobs and really make us feel safe.
Well, thank you.
And I'm glad that we're getting the Mack dump truck. I know that's been a while coming. And just thank the road crew for doing an excellent job for this past snow. Really it was cleared in no time. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Supervisor Paiho?
Okay, yeah, I'll echo it also, Chief. Great year, excellent job to your department, a lot of kudos. I happened to go by that traffic stop when the officer had the car pulled over, and it was one of those that just didn't look quite like an ordinary traffic stop, and then when I saw the press release later and all, then I knew why. But definitely kudos to he and your whole staff. And Larry, I'll echo what George said too. I had to travel early the next morning. Township streets, I had no problem getting out of my house. But when I hit 422, it was 2 lanes of slush. So thank you for you and your whole department. You did a wonderful job.
Thank you. They are a great staff, so.
That's for sure.
Supervisor Ham?
Just that I want to give a big shout out to the Hack Away for Hunger group. They raised that $45,000 that they donated to different organizations, and if you want to look that up, the organizations are extremely well-needy groups, so they did a fantastic job, as they always did. They've done over the years some really nice stuff, but $45,000 is a nice job.
Yeah, they donated $1,500 to our Shop of the Cop detail, so it goes a long way for us. That's a big boost for us to be able to gifts, so I'd like to thank him also.
Okay. Okay, I'll go next. So, everybody thanked Larry, and I had it on my notes to thank you, so it's really tremendous job, Larry. I appreciate everything you guys have done. My next item is last Monday, I had the pleasure of visiting Rifton Fire Department and kind of saw the situation there and what they have. And then we went and took a ride to Gilbertsville, a new built facility there. And basically talked to their chief, explore what they have done, took their vision, and we're learning from what they have done and what lessons learned in another world, and what we could see as we move forward with the vision for the new location here, to be, as discussion move forward with hopefully a new fire station and learning from other departments around us that have successfully accomplished that and how to get to that point. So I just want to give a shout out to Chris Jordan, our fire chief, and his crew for introducing me to the rest of the crew, taking me on that journey there and opening my eye to the conditions of Rifton. So thank you so much. And then the other thing is, didn't have truly a sit-down meeting with Bill, but it's something we usually are calling or texting about, or we're crossing each other's and chat about it. And it is, we've talked last time we were here about inviting a new business to the township, but how about sustaining the existing businesses? And it's something that we want to work at, and it could be as just simple as hearing from them and what are their challenges and how we could possibly help them. Or it could be as the weather changes, we will start doing, we have the green space and we have the areas to invite people to do their activities here. Food trucks, craft tables, you name it, all these businesses have wonderful things that they could be serving the citizens of Exeter, and I'd rather the citizens of Exeter spend their money here on their local businesses than going to the neighboring communities and doing that. So that's something that we're looking forward to do in the upcoming future. Other than that, we're going to move to public comments, and we have none. But if anybody would like to stand up and say anything? No? Okay.
Motion to adjourn?
Looking for a motion to adjourn.
I'm going to make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. 5. I don't know if you guys are giving me light agendas or just the meetings are going so well.